Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. I am your hostess, certified life coach, author, and speaker, as well as contributor, Chris Natha DeRozier. As always, I am so excited to be back with another segment. So, as you join us today, say hello in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from and let's keep the engagement going. So I am back, and I thought it was so important that we had this conversation today. And so, as you've already seen, today's conversation, we're going to be talking about self care because self care equals self love. I know in a world, in a society where it's all about self, why are we talking about self care? We know as women, we give and we pour out so much, right? And men as well. It's so important that we take care of ourselves so we're not pouring from an empty place, but it's a place of overflow, right? So we get busy, right? We are just moving and going, but it's important to take a moment and make sure we are incorporating things and a state of mind that is beneficial not just to us but those around us. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about self-care. How can you actually implement it in your life? And we're going to talk about what does God have to say about self-care. Yes, we're going to talk about that too. So again, you guys say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And so self-care is extremely important. And there are some practices you can incorporate in your life, in your daily routines that really starts to help you care for yourself as you are always preparing to pour out to others. And some of those things are getting enough sleep. I know we've talked about this before here in the Masterpiece Lounge, but it's imperative that we are resting. All right. We are a limited resource, that we're eating a healthy diet, that we're getting regular exercise, that we're moving around, moving our bodies, right? That we are spending time and being intentional about being mindful, right? If you work indoors, find some time during the day to go outside. I don't care if it's for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, but go outside, right? Take breaks from technology. Sometimes step away from your devices, take a moment, right? Engage in some hobbies. So I have learned as I've been talking with women specifically, that in our 30s, we don't have hobbies anymore, right? What's that about? We're so busy working and on the grind and making things happen that we don't indulge in hobbies, or we don't even know what that means, right? So let's get back into and engage in our hobbies. Now, this is one that I want you to really make sure that you're hearing me. Setting boundaries is a form of self care. Yes, I've said it. Setting boundaries is a form of self care, meaning you say no. You know your limits, right? You don't overcommit, right? You can say amen or you can say ouch, right? But I hope that this is speaking to you today. Also, prioritizing your mental health. Take care of yourself. That's going to help you as you pour into you and then be prepared to pour into others, right? And we listen and we don't judge. I need you to have your regular medical checkups too. By this time, you should have had at least one appointment on the books that you've went to, right? But we listen and we don't judge. So if you haven't done that yet, it is time. Okay, so overall, we're promoting well-being. Okay, that is important. So some key aspects of self-care as far as your physical health, your sleep hygiene, right? Aiming to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. I know that's not always possible, but we're aiming for that. Nutrition, so you're eating a balanced diet. Exercise, we are engaging in regular physical activity. It doesn't always have to be running, right? It could be walking, it could be yoga, it could be swimming, whatever you enjoy doing, but making sure that we're getting moving. Hydration, so drink plenty of water throughout the day. Plenty of water throughout the day is very important. Your medical checkups is also a form of self-care. Get your regular preventative screenings and checkups. It is better to get your preventative appointments in so that way you don't have to have issues that you haven't seen coming, right? Take care of yourself. Your mental and emotional health, right? That's stress management. How do you manage the stress? We can't always eliminate it completely from our lives, but how do we manage it? Personally, deep breathing has been extremely helpful to me in managing stress. So, what are some techniques that you use for stress management? Please share in the chat. Let me know. Deep breathing has been helpful. Mindfulness has been helpful, right? To be present in the moment and do journals, right? I love journaling. So I write down my thoughts and my feelings so that I can process them. Positive affirmations is another way to make sure that your emotional and mental health is being prioritized. Okay. Also, mindful activities. Those mindful activities are basically things that help you engage and bring joy and focus in the present moment. That could be listening to music, spending time in nature, right? And then there's social well-being, right? Connect with other people. I know we connect through our devices because we're busy, but connect with other people. Spend time with other people. Maybe you're a loner, maybe you work from home, all good. But put something on the calendar where you are spending time with another human being. I don't care if it's a girlfriend for brunch. I don't care if you're going to a spa day or you just doing nothing, but you're doing nothing together, right? So spend some time with your supportive friends, with your family, with your loved one, your significant other, but connect with your loved ones. Also, social well-being. It's also setting boundaries, like we talked about earlier, right? So learn to say no when necessary. Why? Because it protects your mind, it protects your time, and it protects your energy. So not only are we going to be making sure that time management is a priority, we also are going to be making sure that energy management is a priority as well. Now, there's also digital well-being. What is digital well-being? Well, limit screen time. Take breaks from social media. Take breaks from your phone, right? Sometimes you need a digital detox. Consider dedicated unplugged time. Maybe during one of your fasts, social media and your device just isn't a part of it, right? You're just taking time away, right? So, how do you incorporate self care into your routine, right? We've heard all the ways we can do it, but how do we really start to implement this? One thing is to schedule time. Just like everything else that's on your calendar, add you back to your calendar, right? So, dedicate specific time, a specific block of time in your calendar for all of the self care activities that you are planning to do. Block it out, right? That time belongs to you. Start small. So this is not for you to feel like you need to do everything in one day, right? Start small. Begin with short, manageable activities that works for your schedule, that works for your life, right? And gradually increase duration of it. Maybe you start off with a 10-minute walk, right? Then that increases to 30 minutes over time. Okay, I also want to encourage you to listen to your body. What is your body telling you? Pay attention to your needs. Adjust your self care practices accordingly. Is my body telling me that I need more rest? Is my body telling me that I need to eat better? I think we usually know, right? So it's just a matter of doing. Listen to your body. And lastly, be flexible. Don't be afraid to switch up your self care activities based on your mood and your circumstances because they change. Okay, so be flexible and be kind to yourself. But self care is going to be so, so, so important. And so it's imperative that we make this a priority because self care equals self love. But I did want to mention this because I know I've heard conversation about self care being selfish. It's not selfish. And as a believer, that we shouldn't focus so much on self care. I understand not to be so self centered, right? We understand that. However, it is imperative that we take care of ourselves. So I took a moment to say, well, what does the Bible have to say about self care? The Bible offers guidance on how to do self care. So let's talk about it. So in the Bible, it includes ways to care for our mind and our body, and that is a form of self care. So, caring for our body and mind in Exodus 34, verse 21, as well as Hebrews chapter 4, verse 3 and 4, we can find where it's talking about the importance of rest, the importance of getting rest, right? So it's not just something that our body needs, it's something that the Bible is telling us that we need to do as well. And as far as our physical health, it is imperative as well that we care for our bodies. And we can find more about this in Exodus 22, verse 26 and 27. So there is the normal self-care, right? All of the activities, right? Even a lot of what we shared earlier, which nothing is wrong with. Getting more sleep, going to the spa, exercising, going outside, all of these things are good things. We should do them. But biblical self-care, it's asking us to go a little bit deeper. Yes, you need more sleep. Yes, you should have a nutritious meal. Yes, you should rest. Absolutely enjoy the nature. But let's address the deeper issue. Let's get to the root of it. What is causing the stress? What's causing the overwhelm, right? So let's dig deeper and let's deal with that, right? So they work hand in hand. So it's just important for you to have that understanding so that you can implement it. But I want to be very clear. Caring for yourself is imperative. It's not a you should, maybe, kinda. You don't rest because you're tired, right? You don't take care of yourself because you're overwhelmed. You take care of yourself so that you don't get tired and so that you don't get overwhelmed. So I want to know from you, what practices are you going to be putting in place as your form of self-care? Okay. I want to know what you're going to be doing. Okay. So this is all we have today for our segment, self-care equals self-love. And we also talked about, what does the Bible say about self-care? Because it definitely talks about it. And so let me know again, what form of self-care you're going to be implementing in your routine. I am your hostess, certified life coach, author, and speaker, Krishnatha DeRosier, signing off until next time. And until then, be well. Take care, everyone.